Is HDFC stuck in the middle of the storm? Why did HDFC lose $16 billion in the market? What really happened there? First, we need to know about the HDFC. HDFC is the largest private sector in India and second largest bank after SBI. The combined net worth of HDFC Group is close to 16 lakh crore rupees. The independent director and the chairman Atanu Chakraborty was recently resigned from HDFC Bank and wrote a letter. Why this has to be the big news? What did he say before resigning? What was really in that letter? Chakraborty quotes in the letter saying certain practices and happenings within the bank that have observed in the last 2 years are not in congruence with my personal values and ethics. On the basis of this, he resigned. In layman terms, he is not happy with the way it runs. Before joining the HDFC, Atanu Chakraborty was a retired civil servant. He was an IAS officer from the batch of 1985. He worked at Indian Finance Ministry in the Department of Economic Affairs. In that role, he oversaw the budget making process in drafting stage to the parliament. He was the most decorated officer. He was a part-time chairman with the HDFC Bank for the 5 years. But having this uplifting background, what he said in the letter became quite significant. What might be his ethical concerns? The bank has not clarified about that, but it gives the statement as follows. We confirm that there are no reasons of worrying on ethical and governance issues other than those mentioned in the said letter for the resignation. But reports coming fast and thin as at least 3 senior executives from the management has been terminated. Experts are saying it's connected to Swiss 81 bonds. As per the facts, Credit Suisse is a Swiss bank which collapsed in 2023. HDFC opened up an investment product in Dubai branch saying customers it's a product like FD where you will get the high returns. Some investors believed it was a safe investment, but HDFC invested the investors' money in a high-risk 81 bonds of Credit Suisse. When crisis hit in 2023, around 81 bonds worth of $20 billion became zero. That is close to 1.6 lakh crore wiped out from the market. In this case, shareholders at least recovered some of the money, but bondholders lost everything that they invested, which led to the legal battle between the investors versus the HDFC Bank, accusing the product was never explained as this risky. Because of this, the bank took action internally. 3 senior executives were fired and the governance questions were being raised. So this says Chakraborty was unhappy and wanted accountability for missteps, also was not satisfied about bank's lagging performance. Because of all this situation, 1/10 of share value has been wiped out. That is about $16 billion in the market value of the company has been wiped out. HDFC took steps to contain the damage in the market by appointing interim chairman as KK Mistry, and RBI also started to cover for HDFC by saying there were no concerns about the conduct or governance at the HDFC Bank. RBI made it to protect the investors and the customers of HDFC. As the largest private bank, HDFC has classified as important bank for Indian economy, and it's the bank too big to fail. Here is the important question. Shouldn't the bank be more accountable too? Because when we need to open a bank account, trading account or investment account, bank requests us to submit all the documents including KYC, that is know your customer verification. We go through all the hell lot of process to put our hard-earned money in the bank, and if you want to take a loan, it will be buried us in the paperwork with endless documents and verifications. Why can't people demand the same transparency from the bank? When this kind of a case occurs, does customer doesn't have right to know that what's happening in the bank or in the management? This is just a story of a one bank or one product, but it's a main reminder for everyone to be aware that do not invest or do not sign the documents without understanding completely, because it comes from the big banks or the trusted name. So this is about the storm which hit the HDFC Bank and lost $16 billion in the market. To more information on geopolitics like this, please do like, share and subscribe. Jai Hind.